Let's make sure. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Solid.
Honey, that will catch them. Alright, who's that? What are they?
Let's see here.
No.
Oh, BDO's having a little enjoyable time.
Where'd it go? They're coming. Oh, that's Benny. Oh, that's Benny. That's the neighbor. Hey, get on here. Ready, action. But. Oh, look. Fire on the magic. Right down the prison door. No, look. Don't go. Hurry, go, come on. Come on.
It's not, I guess. Oh, dang, I still got 28 minutes on that. Rough life. Sonic, what's up, man? Welcome. Finally, I get some time to come back and hang with the fam here. Yeah, man, I know it's been too long. Got the daddy-o visiting. But, man, there's so much going on this weekend. So I figured it'd be a shame not to stream some of the action that's going on. So yeah, we'll be taking a look at some KvK wars. Also really excited to look at we'll do that a little bit later in the stream, but we'll take a look at the new Age of Empires mobile game that's going to be coming out. So, and get a little glimmer of that and see how that one's looking. I wonder if there's any more. I think a little more resistance. I don't know how much more action's going on here. It all feels a little sporadic. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Some migration happening today in S2+. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, is that at reset? Where the migration's going to be procking? What's up?
Samsung Smart TV?
Yeah.
Samsung?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's catching up. Wait.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're saying that it has happened, it's probably going to be around reset. I would guesstimate. Yeah, we'll probably go start looking for some more fights too as well. This was just one off the whim. I still have to go through and I got to update my sheet as well to see what the action's looking like. 'Cause I think it's been a couple days since I last did. MMG, what's up? Welcome. You said 23:06 we fight in 10 hours. Okay. Yeah, if I get a chance to stream again later tonight, maybe. Yeah, I know. Right now, I have a nice window, and so I just thought to myself, man, this could be a nice little opportunity to at least get on and say, hey, I know it's been a minute since I was able to come on and last stream, but again, I know there's some good fights that are going on today. I think we'll take a look here. As you guys know, I'm just kind of going through and doing my promo rounds, but we'll look at each. I mean, if there's any big fights that are going on now, just let me know. I'll go to those. I know right now I'm just kind of looking around at the moment, at least for the one we're in. I kind of just went to the first fight that we ended up seeing, but I do know that there's some others that are going on. I'm just trying to get through all my promo stuff. As you guys know, my usual routine. Ooh, is there some going on down here? Okay. Oh, are they breaking in? Did I have this wrong? Oh, no, this is RKO, RVO, BDO's here. Okay, so they're kind of fighting from this angle. I wonder why they went in so deep then. Okay, here we go. Maybe we'll get a little more action here. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that was man, that was throwing me off for a minute. Crazy boobs. Yo, where's Crazy Bob, man? We found your we found your sister. I'm sure. Oh my gosh, I take too much time off. And Grimcore, what's up? Welcome. Shishoka, what's up? Welcome, man. Doing good, man. I finally started getting into some CrossFit. I'm really excited. I ended up joining, well, trying out. I have no idea. Okay, behave. Oh, my girls, man. But yeah, ended up actually finally. Now, you know, I got, as most people know, you know, I got 3 little girls, so the amount of are they still doing a little fighting over here? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so you know, for me, you know, working on trying to lower down that dad bod. If you got my my drift. So yeah, ended up looking up some like CrossFit, basically gyms to get into out here. So yeah, gonna start doing the 6 a.m. grind, where I'll wake up like 5:30, 5:40, go drive out, and that's the thing, man. Just trying to get the nice slow build up. Oh yeah, come summer, your boy's plan is to be ripped. Or at least better.
Turn the switch, TV.
Huh?
TV.
Yeah. Ask Volvo. He just had to, yeah. You just gotta hook it up.
Okay.
Thanks, Ashoka. Yeah, let's see. Okay, cool. Looks like we're good there. Alrighty. Let's go hunting. Now that we... Is there something going on up here? COC and MILF, are they fighting? Ah, not really. Okay, and there was supposed to be something. I mean, this looked like it could have been big. I just don't know how much resistance are we really going to be seeing. Okay, oh, there's a little bit here. Just a teeny bit. Oh, gosh. Oh. But welcome. If you're just joining us, we're just taking a look at some KvKs. We'll be switching it up and going through a couple here in a bit. But again, if you're just joining as always, all right, remember our only entry fee that we kindly ask you is just to hit us with a thumbs up. And yeah, let's see. SS212 to S16 got their migration date for small information. Oh, interesting. Okay. Are they all lined up? I haven't had a chance to go there in the past couple days, so that could be new. Fighting a zone between Al and RO. Okay. How much is it more fighting than what's happening here? You said 2014. Painful, what's up? Welcome. You said you think they all lined up, Shoka. Okay, cool. Yeah. If it ends up being a big group, I might do... If it doesn't end up being a big group, I might do a data dive on it. What's up? Jeez.
That's why.
Maybe that's why. We'll see. That makes sense. Unless that just happened. That's wild.
Yeah. Today, 12:27. Oh, that's... No, that's...
Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch that.
No, that was...
I don't know if I want to watch that.
It was Friday. I thought it was today. No, look that up.
Yeah, just grab it. Just take the things off the side, and you just got to put it into that black thing on the mantle. That's all.
One thing off the side.
There's 2 little controllers on the side. Or just give me the switch. I'll take it off.
Hey, give your dad the switch.
Yeah.
He said he'd do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's S21. Let's go see what we got. You said 20. So we're fighting the lower power of my question. Yeah, let's. Ooh. Oh, I can't reserve my own server. Duh. What's going on here? Yeah, we'll take a look. Unless they're just, oh, yeah, they're just keep farming. We're going to have to wait for Lorcan to open. And they're probably doing the same thing up here, I would imagine. Yeah, they are. So, yeah, and they're probably doing the same thing over there, so. Okay, yeah, we could try this one. I think someone said ROE, ROA. We can take a look and see. Mm-hmm. Okay. The sweet girls, bring me the Switch. Ooh, what's going on here? Ooh. Here we go, man. Good stuff. Look at that. S216. We have ROE going up against Owl. Looks like DBB is there too as well. And ROA. Okay, nice. Oh, this must be it then. Where are we in? We're in 06. And someone told us 14. Who was that? Owl and RO. That was painful. Okay. Nice. Yeah, man. Watch a little bit of this. Cool. Always down to get a little bit of some PvP. Let me see. No. Not this. I don't need this. You need to go put the console in the thing.
You may put the console in the thing.
You have to put that in there.
Back in the box, back in the other thing, in the box.
Okay, I just click.
Let me see. Yeah. So like this, you put it in like that, where the power has to be on the left side. So when you do it, you're gonna go like that, down like that.
Oh, in the front, like it's facing me.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell Volvo to put it in there, and then you just have to turn the TV on. Oh gosh. Should stream our war. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the main fight. I don't know if there's any other places that are going on right now here. Let's see real quick. There was one up here, but I don't know how much fighting is. Oh, dang. What is going on over here? Jeez. Yo, it's nuts, fam. What is happening? Okay, listen, ST16 is where it's at right now. Nuts. Okay, this is dope. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out here for a minute. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll hang out. We'll show GG13. I'll show the GG group finding NTS, and then we'll go back down south and watch ROE, ROA, and the others. All right, nice. That'll give me a little bit of time, so we can do a couple more promos. Yeah, then we'll see what's up. Okay, good. That's a good thing I'm on there. Oh my gosh, there's the barrage. I love the fact that NTS is coming out hard, or at least being consistent and constantly keep coming out of the gate. I mean, usually, this is an interesting part, right? We often talk about this. When you're fighting on a gate, typically you don't want to kind of come out in one by ones, right? You typically want to kind of come out in a horde. And that's usually because you have a higher chance of being able to have, or we should say, taking more ground, right? Making more of a stand and kind of carving out your area compared to where you're kind of trickling in one by one. So, actually, it actually seemed okay for them there, but maybe they want to reset. And I can respect this. If they feel like, look, we don't have as good of numbers. I also like the fact if GG is backing up and giving them space to come out in, because they know that if they do that, they're probably going to get longer fights and probably more sustainable fights at the pass compared to if they just basically spawn camp, right, the pass. I actually think that's a better play for them. And if that's what they're doing, I think that's good. I think that's what they should do, right? And again, that's coming from the standpoint of, look, you're trying to get more fights, you're trying to get more enjoyment out of the season, right? Especially for this type of an engagement. Okay, but looks like it stopped for a sec. Let's go back here. Are they just fighting everywhere? What's going on here? Nah, it's just a little bit there. Okay, let's go back to... Where were we? Are we? I think they're still going ham. They are. Can I get my good view? Yeah. There we go. Chia pet. All right, let's watch this. Oh, I gotta look real quick on 17. That's the one thing I need to do. No, we'll do that. Nice, man. The bear chew. Pandalicious. It's good. Man, it's always... I need to start taking time to look at people's names more often. More often, man. It's not bad. No one's hitting from the top. Excuse me. So at least I'm not getting reinforced. Looks like it's just straight up. Doesn't look like anyone's flanking on either side. Always nice when we get to hit a random piece of grass. And I think for the most part it is, right? So they're coming around the choke here in Parhealing because they can't access up here. I think they... no. There's nothing there. They can't go through there. Well, I guess they could come down that way, but that's ROA's there, and then ROE's there. Are they also? Because they... Okay, I see. So they're not fighting here. I was going to say that should have been the other one they could have. So they're kind of coming... Now, this is where Nor was coming on VVV before. So they basically said, look, we're not going to fight on the northern choke, or maybe it's just... You know, maybe to them it's just not worth it at that point, just given how defensively holed up that is, or how turtled they have that across the bridge with all the turrets. So now they're kind of opting for coming down south and saying, hey, let's fight a little bit more out in the open field, which, again, I'm all for because I really like more of the open field fights. I mean, choke point fights, whether they're thin, mid, or kind of wide-sized, if it's a ramp fight, again, those are enjoyable as well. But for me, I very much like just kind of the pure open field fights, mainly because I just think that infantry, cav, flying just gets a little bit more of, you know, an opportunity to kind of, you know, let themselves loose a bit, you know, and I always find that really enjoyable, at least when we're watching it from kind of a top-down view. Yeah, and if you're just joining, welcome. We're going to be watching, we're going to go through, I'm going to look at some KvKs. I'm going to update my sheet, which, yeah, we should have soonish. And then we're going to also look at the new Age of Empires mobile game that we just got a first look for yesterday. And I actually ended up tuning into the live stream. DK Gamer, another YouTuber, had sent me a link to it. Sent me a link to the Discord. And then I ended up seeing that they were doing a live stream. It was interesting. They showed a little bit. They I think just made a YouTube channel a little while ago. And on there, they have a first look for the game. They also have like a dev diaries that we'll take a look at. Just want to try and get some action here for some PvP first. All right. Maybe I should turn the audio up there a little bit more. Let me see. We're Fridays 1 to 10 hours. Dang. The Uncle, what's up? Shoka, I know it might be a weird question, but when do you ask for free-to-play power submission in the new month, like at the start of the month? Yeah, so, you know, I'll do my next top 25 free-to-play players probably towards the beginning of the month. I usually like to get them out around the early middle of the month, so sometimes around the 10th. However, I'll probably ask for it maybe in about 2 weeks from now. And like I talked about in the video that I put out for the top 25 free-to-play in the beginning, I also explained how players can go about submitting those to me. They can do that. Excuse me. So I'll do another video, and then I'm also going to do a Discord announcement. And the easiest thing is that once I do that, then you could start submitting those to me. And how you do that is you just send me a DM. And I'll explain exactly the screenshots that I need to see from those players, so that way everyone will know exactly what you need to send me in order for your submission to be eligible. Are we? Man, they're still going right now. Wow. They did?
They let me sign up with my
Nice.
zip.
Could you watch the channel?
Yeah,
Okay.
I turned up and the channel's in there.
Oh, nice.
I just
Nice.
didn't play. It's your game.
All right. All right, let's go take a look. I want to see who else is doing some fighting. Just to see what else is going on, too, as well. I know we are looking. Yeah, we'll see. I'll look on my second instance. So that way we don't have to take anything away from this. Yeah, we also might go up and look a little bit more at the GG group, too, and NTS, because I would imagine they're probably still going hard. I mean, ROE and ROA has a bunch of people right now. And Owl and DBB, I mean, again, still with a decent size. Let's see. Interesting. Looks like we're just seeing a bunch of farm wild. Looks like just some merit farming, some good old-fashioned merit farming. Are they going back at it? Yo, they are going back at it! Oh, did they summon Behemoth? Where is it? Oh, they did. They summoned Bear. Doctor's Lou is on that for NTS. Dude, nice. Oh, come on. Let me get the good zoom out. Oh, nice. Let me do it. Look at that. This zoom out's a little better. I mean, I still wish I could zoom out a bit more, but this is actually this is okay-ish for us right now. Oh, that might be okay. You guys have to let me know if the game volume's a little bit too loud. I think it should be okay. I don't want it to be like too overbearing. There he goes, Lou's on the bear there for NTS. GG holding the perimeter. Again, trying to be cognizant and aware of the bear's range. And this, I think to me, right, if you're not really able to kind of get some AoE out, I think what they're doing with the bear is the right play, where they don't want the bear to take a lot of damage, so they're trying to play the bear kind of mid to interior here, or at least on its range. So that way, or you could say like mid to long distance away from the opposing troops, because if they can get some of the GGG units to kind of come within the radius, then they can just send the bear back out. However, I think in this situation, it's rough, right? Because typically, if you don't have a flag that you can go and protect or push out beyond the pass, it almost becomes pretty easy in this case, right? For GG to like maneuver around. the bear, right? Or the behemoth in this case. Just because he can't really go beyond that, especially if you're not trying to attack, because, I mean, there's nothing that's connecting, right? So it's not as though they can put it on any other flags, albeit their own. And now, yeah, I mean, I guess, again, now it's actually okay, right? Because now the bear's kind of in range of more units where you can do some more damage. But now NTS is kind of pushed outside, so you're not really kind of able to utilize the bear to the max amount that you'd like, right? Which is really more of that kind of CC tank. While being able to, output, I'm sure, some amount of damage overall. But that's really how I like to kind of look at behemoths, is that whether you're going to use them offensively or defensively, right, they're really there to tank and soak up a lot of damage, and they're also there to do some CC, right, some crowd control. And that's really where you almost want, so NTS in this case, right, I would push through. I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously Bear's about to get wrecked right now, but if they were there a little bit earlier, right, then when the bear was around here, they could have pushed through. Maybe they had attention that was focusing on the bear. That maybe allows for them to kind of regain a bit of a foothold in front of the pass. And then maybe if they can get some AoE, slash some focus firing going down on the GG group, right, that can maybe apply some pressure. Maybe also hit them when they're running away to get some extra damage, right, if they're trying to push out of the bear range. I mean, there is a couple ways you can play it out, but it's rough, because if you're constantly staying out of bear range, then at that point it's really just, okay, we're throwing the behemoth down just so we can create some space to work in out of the pass. And I'd also say in this moment, I don't know if I'm NTS, if I'm going out and attacking GG right away, I would flood the area and then push out, especially if they're giving you a window to operate in, which it looks like they are. Why not push out and then attack as a group? This doesn't really echo to me as though this is, very highly coordinated, so to speak. And I'll give you an example of what I mean, right? So if I'm them and they're pushing out of the gate this way, right? So they're coming in. The way they're kind of doing it is like they came here, right? They had a couple people that were like right here on the line, and then they just kind of flooded the circle here. But they're coming out far, and then they're doing a couple hits out this way. Right? Instead, what I'm saying is when you come out, you kind of flood, right? Like this. So you're coming out, flooding, right? And like, let's say you don't go past this line, right? So then everyone is in here, right? Then this way you can go ahead, right? You could set your lines up if you want, some infantry, some cav, right? If you want some flyers, maybe here, and then here's where you have archers, mage, right? You set up your lines and your formations so things are a little bit more clear, and then you kind of do a synchronized push where then you're going out. The way that they did it, they had 4, 5, 6 players that were already doing some hits, not really allowing the area to get flooded and filled, and then going ahead and making that coordinated push. That's what I would really like to see, because I just think that overall would have given them a little bit higher percentage of play going into that initial engagement compared to where they're doing the trickling. Because if you're on the GG side, they could easily be doing, 10, 15 verse 2, 10, 15 verse 3 or 4, right? However many it was, because some of those NTS players were overextending a bit. So, again, for me, I like to look at that where you're trying to get good value, right? You want the ratios to be always trying to have the ratios be in your favor, right, for what you're winning versus what you're losing. But really going in just hoping for fair fights, right, and always trying to put yourself in a position where you can get a balanced fight. If not a fight, that maybe is a little bit more in your favor. But I think, and again, I don't know what the power differential is right now between these two. We'd have to look at some flags to see. But when I'm looking at it visually, that's what I like to say. And this is not bad, right? I mean, again, I'd like to see a little bit more spread here. You could see that we're kind of hiving, we're condensing a bit here, right? Use more of the width going this way, use more of the width going this way, right? Remember, we talk about wanting to form arcs, right? You kind of want to form arcs or, crescent moons, if you will, curves, right? You want to have your curve looking nice. These are things that are really important, especially if you're fighting out in the open field, because it is going to allow for you, as we often talk about, to reduce the amount of AoE damage that's being inflicted on you, and then have a higher chance of inflicting more AoE damage on your opponents. It also just makes it so that way players have to choose who they're going to be hitting, right? And sometimes if you're giving players too many options on where they can attack, that can also help out in your favor, because if your opponents are not as coordinated on you as far as where you're focus firing and targeting down, you could end up having some players in your push that could be fighting a one-on-one, right? Maybe they're hitting a unit by themselves. A few other people are hitting units by themselves, and no one's really doing it in a efficient way, right? Where you're having multiple people attacking a unit, multiple people attacking a condensed area, and those are really what we like to look at, because to me that gives a higher quality indication of where the skill levels are at, right, for the opposing sides. So always something I find really enjoyable. I like this, though, that NTS is actually pushing out and pushing GG a little bit more here, to where now it's actually coming back. I wonder if this is the moment where they might even say, hey, let's throw a flag down at the time. I mean, clearly GG was able to push NTS back to their wall, but, and again, maybe this is just, a nice push. Who knows if it's going to hold any substance, right, as far as being able to then plant a flag and come out. But this is a nice push from them. Okie dokie. How we doing? 1919. Nice. Look at that, man. Already 11 likes. Welcome, welcome. That's good stuff. We got it today. Yeah. Rogma, what's up? Are we on top? All right, man. Here we come. GG with the counter push. Grading 500. What's up? Welcome. Can you watch Division 2015 SS2? Yeah, we can take a look. Is there some action that's going on there now? I can pull it up on my second. What did you say? Was that S215? Oh, S2 plus 15. Is that FU, SMD, and TH? Yeah, I'll take a look. If there's some action there, and we can queue that up, depending on how much action they have. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit. Yeah, no, I'll queue this up, and if the NTS GG thing dies out and there's nothing else going on with ROE ROA, then yeah, we'll go take a look. The Birdman. Yeah, and then in a little bit, we're going to take a look at the new Age of Empires mobile game. So I do want to show you guys that off. We're already about 30 minutes into the stream, so I'm not going to have you guys wait that long. So what we'll do is we'll wait for one of these pushes to die out on the GG NTS side. If ROE ROA and OWL aren't really going anymore, then we'll go take a look at the Age of Empires mobile. We'll show you guys the videos, give you my thoughts on that, and then we'll come back and look for some more wars and fights that are going on in COD. But 65, you said, what is the new Age of Empires mobile kingdom builder? Yeah, so I mean, basically that's what it is. It's a new kingdom builder that's being developed by the team. Well, I don't know if I'd say the team, but it's off of the Age of Empires franchise. Okay, hopefully I don't die. So interesting, man. NTS made a really good push out. And I'm shocked that NTS wasn't able to hold and sustain this a little bit more, because they had good numbers. And even though GG was pushing on the counterattack, they could have fell back to around here, right at kind of the edge of their territory, and they just could have had other players coming in to refill and then do a counter, then do their own counterattack push. So I'm a little, I don't want to say saddened, but I am a bit shocked, because that was an opportunity, right, that NTS could have done. Again, they had good activity even when they were falling back, right? Because keep in mind, they were pushed out about here, right? They were pushed out to about here. They could have already been telling people, hey, start staging here. And then as they're falling back, if the numbers don't look too disadvantageous, Then the moment that they push back here, now they're just basically banana peeling or hitting a big 180, and now they're going right back at GG, right? That would have been really cool to see. Okay. Let's see if ROA ROE has anything going on with Owl down here. And if they're still going hard, maybe we'll watch a bit. Let's see. I don't know how much. Oh, what do we got going on here? Oh, wow. They got 40 minutes on that hoot flag. Okay, so they're going. Let's do this. I want to watch. Let's watch. I just want to watch a few minutes of this, right? Because again, I want to try and get as much action in as we can. And ST16 has been fighting decently, so I'm really excited about that. So let's watch. Let's watch a little bit more. When this dies off, whenever this dies off, then at that moment we'll go and we'll take a look at the Age of Empires mobile. We'll watch the first look trailer. We'll watch the dev diaries, and then I'll give you my feedback and thoughts on it. And then we'll come back and watch some more Call of Dragons PvP. But for now, let's enjoy and watch a little bit more here between ROE, ROA, Owl, DBB. I don't know if Hoot is here unless I don't see them. Or maybe they're on the other side. I'm not sure. Painful. This server has been so much fun, man. I think we're holding Owl so Arkham can advance into Zone 3. We will eventually push into Zone 3 ourselves. Okay, nice. Nah, man, it sounds great. Yeah, I've been working so much, and you know, I got my dad's visiting from California too as well, so he's hanging out with the grandkids, and I got the lady and the little one that are sleeping upstairs. So I thought, man, this is a great time just for me to come on and say hey. Again, you know, the good thing is there's a lot of action going on in a couple different places, but you know, typically I like to always have my stats and everything kind of up to date for what's going on in each group. And also, you know, being able to kind of pre-plan out where the pushes are happening when gates are opening. I know that's always like a really big crowd pleaser where people are able to get on and watch fights right when the gates are opening, kind of knowing who's lined up. I always feel like those ones do a little bit better. But again, being able to kind of show more of a general landscape for the warfare as far as just kind of going in and seeing who's fighting in the moment and you know, talk about some interesting stuff, you know, can always be good as well. But hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit more of that, of the former, because I really do like it when I can kind of let everyone know, you know, what the matchups are, who's going to be fighting, you know, when our pass is opening, because again, that's always enjoyable. One of the many things I should say that I hope to eventually be able to bring the CoD Fam on a daily basis, or almost daily basis, I should say, right, whenever we're potentially able to do our full-timeness. Okay, looks like we're lining up here. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. We are taking a look, like I said, at some CoD KvK wars. We're looking at a T1 season right now. There's some action going on in 2+ that we have. There's also going to be some action going on in Season 2 for some PvP. But now that we're kind of getting to a little bit of a calming point, let me go ahead and I'm going to mute some sound here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the new Age of Empires stuff. So, first things first, I already actually have all this stuff loaded up. So, let's transition real quick. I know I mentioned this in the title, but I do want to show this off. So, there's a couple things we're going to take a look at. Right, this is the website, and I need to make sure that I can pull this up for like the regular one that it is. Oh my gosh, I was able to catch myself on the mute. Amazing skills that I have. So let's do this. I'm going to put a link here for anyone that's interested to the website. And then also, I think I have a link to the Discord, because I did join the Discord. So if anyone's curious, let me do that. I'll get you guys a link to the Discord too, because you can actually register now for it. So let me do this. Let's edit. Let's go no limit. Never. I'm going to generate myself a new link. Here you guys go. So I'm going to give you a link to the Discord. So you got two things here. You got a link to the Discord and you got a link to the website. So they just did a live stream on this yesterday. I don't know anyone here who's big RTS fans. You guys know I often talk about a lot of the things I love about Call of Dragons, where it has a lot of kind of MMO, RTS, mechanics and systems that are implemented into Call of Dragons. And you've heard me mention games like Age of Empires, Command and Conquer, StarCraft, Warcraft, etc., right, that are more traditional style RTS games. And this is something that, again, I'm not going to spend too long here, but I want to show this because I thought this was interesting. And as you know, I'm just a fan and a lover of kingdom builders as a genre. So this is a website you can go if you want to get some information. They're doing a similar thing to what they did for Call of Dragons with the pre-registration, even though it's not you pre-registering for the game, it's you pre-registering for rewards. But the big thing is that when you get onto the Discord, and I'll show you that here, if you join the Discord, go over to, I think it's pre-registration is the new one. Yeah. And you can go on here, and if you click pre-register, it'll take you to the Play Store. It'll give you a Play Store link, right? So then you can go ahead and register. You can see your boys already here up top. What's funny is I actually already applied to be a content creator for this too as well. I don't know, obviously, what the game really has in store, but I figured, hey, if they're already kind of taking it that early, I figured, why not? Okay, with that in mind, let's go ahead and show you guys this. So let me put this on so I can actually listen, and we're gonna show you guys this. Again, it just debuted yesterday, so this is the first look trailer. It's a minute and a half, and then we're gonna show you the Dev Diary one, which dives a little bit more into the specifics. Here we go.
Press on!
Δώσε εμπιτέρνα πάκε.
Νεύθης, δώσ' μου δύναμη.
See that forest ambush? Okay, so that's the first look trailer. Now we're gonna watch it again. I'm gonna do it with the sound off, and we're gonna go through and kind of break it down section by section. Right now, bear in mind they haven't really shown us too much yet. There is some old footage from about 11 months ago, almost a year ago, where there was someone from I don't know if it was Chinese or Korean, someone from another region that posted what seemed to be alpha test footage. But the footage was really, again, it's almost a year old, and the graphics obviously look a little bit better now for what they're showing compared to what they did then. So I'm going to wait until they come out with that. However, being able to choose civilizations at the start, again, this is very traditional kingdom builder-ish, right? Whether you've played Rock, you've played Call of Dragons, Infinity Kingdom, etc., this is something that kind of falls a little bit more in line with those. Okay, let's continue. So gathering rich resources. This is something I actually think is a little bit different. If you've played Age of Empires games before, you know that it's different than you capturing an RSS tile, right? I mean, it's more or less, think about it. Basically, the way they're coding it is they're just saying, hey, here's a point on the map, but the way that they're masking it, right? The cosmetics they put over it, that's all it is, right? It's cosmetic for this game could be an RSS tile. Cosmetic for Age of Empires could be a peach tree bush, right? Or a berry bush, or it could be a gold mine, right? But you're sending a unit over there, right? The only difference is that in Age of Empires, maybe you're not sending a legion or a march, but you're actually sending over individual workers. So that could be a different aspect to what Age of Empires brings to a kingdom builder game compared to what we traditionally see, right? Something like Whiteout Survival is probably a decent example of, like, when you're sending individual units and allocating them to your buildings internally within your camp. It kind of is a bit more reminiscent of that. However, again, I personally, I mean, for someone who's played, I've played Age of Empires since Age of Empires 1, AoE 2, Age of Mythology, AoE 3. I haven't played AoE 4 yet, but this is something that cosmetically, I like the way that the gathering works if it's kind of focusing on more individuals compared to having to utilize an entire march. And if they do something like that, I'm actually somewhat for it because of the fact that I think the idea of leaving your marches free to do more PvP is an interesting concept if they almost removed that and they allowed for you to kind of send out internal gatherers from the city. Now, whether that's only in the city or if you're sending out individual gatherers out onto the map, I think it's a nice different approach where you're leaving your marches and your legions free to go out and actually do the fighting. Let's continue. Right, being able to gather nets. Building your empire, this is all pretty standard, right? This is basically just building out your base, right, of your kingdom. Rally historical heroes. And again, man, Age of Empires has some dope-looking heroes, too, as well. So like, this one was interesting, the way they showed this. Hang on, let's go back right there. Right, so here, this interface isn't actually that bad, right? When this, to me, I think cosmetically looks nice, right? You have a hero card. You have, what is it, cavalry. Cavalry looks like cav. Maybe if that's infantry as well, or if that's a skill. Who knows what this is, right? Maybe this could indicate if, I mean, based on the stars are kind of max, right? It looks like maybe 5 stars max, level 50 is max. And maybe this is some other kind of attribute bonus. You can see here archer, maybe this is archer infantry, spearman infantry, cavalry, spearman main, right? You see a few others that are here. Not everyone kind of has this thing over here, but you can see swordsman, pikeman, cav, archers, right? It kind of gives you a little bit of information. You get what looks like if maybe you can have 3 here if these are not additional attributes. You get a power bonus, your load capacity, siege, and then maybe this is the max level, possibly. You get, looks like you have 4 loadouts that you could have here. So maybe that just means 4 legions. Maybe that goes down more too as well. And it looks like they have 3 heroes per, if that was the way. This is cool though, right? Unleashing powerful... Oh, hang on. I don't know if we missed that last animation there. Right, here you go. So unleashing powerful skills. This could either be a skill active or it could maybe be something that you're clicking. Right, kind of like an artifact usage. So the using distinct terrain, this is pretty cool, right? We showed, well, you see the forest ambush that is coming. I wonder if they're going to have this kind of league approach where it will be, where it's going to be more of, oh, you can hide in the brush, right? And then you're invisible and then you come out of it. That could be a really cool concept. I think that's actually something that some players have asked for in CoD Dragons as well. Now, the way this looks almost kind of reminds me of like an EOC, an Era of Conquest, or like LOTR Rise to War type of approach where you're, kind of sending it to tiles. Again, we can't see any tiles, but look at this, marshlands, reducing march speed. This is pretty cool, where you end up having them just not being able to move that fast across particular terrain. That's something that you don't see, that I haven't, they don't have that in Rock, they don't have that in Call of Dragons. That's a pretty cool thing. So this is nice. I like how they're giving you kind of on-field buffs or debuffs, right? Being able to explore the world. That's pretty cool if you could sail. Dynamic battlefields. So the one thing that I'm hoping doesn't happen is this doesn't turn into kind of like a Clash of Clans, like we're just going to raid your base type of thing where it's almost like a tower defense. I hope that's not how it is, and it's a little bit more intuitive than that. But you can even see here, right, you're attacking the gates, they're already on the inside. Is there kind of free movement when you take the wall? I mean, like, that's pretty cool. If you take the wall down, this is all very similar to... I mean, again, it's a different way of playing. Right now, you're coming in, you're destroying. Does the city operate? Like, this is the thing. If the city was kind of how it is in a typical tower defense, where it's very similar to a Clash of Clans, but the exception is that both of the players can respond in real time, and it's not just you set up your defense and then you let it play out when someone's getting attacked. Now, that could be a cool, different way of approaching the game, right? Where now, if, let's say your city gets hit, or they break down your walls, you can basically summon your army internally within your city, right? Because if you look at a Call of Dragon city, it's obviously not big enough to be able to sustain or to do that. But what if in Age of Empires, when you zoom into a city, it's almost as big as a battlefield, right? And that could be something that could be really cool if you could fight within your city to basically defend structures. And people could come in and destroy your buildings, right? And then maybe you have to build them back up. So if they get destroyed, maybe they lose a level. Maybe all the levels are lost and then you have to rebuild it. Like, just thinking about it like that is actually pretty cool because it is a different way to approach the game. In most kingdom builders, traditionally, you're not actually invading a city and destroying anything that's within them. I mean, let alone invading the actual kingdom or city that you see on the map. Typically, you're fighting outside of it or you're rallying it from the outside, but you don't actually get to see any internal workings within the city. So this is actually pretty cool if you think about this. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily a new concept, but it's new compared to, at least from my experience, on a lot of the kingdom builders I'm familiar with. So let's continue. Right now you're saying, oh, hang on, I wanted to see that gauge bar. So you're seeing here, right, this is probably what I would imagine is the active skill bar. You could see that some are 2 or 3. If that is the case, I like how you get a snapshot of who the hero is. You get to see what their classification type is. You see their health bar. And then if this is kind of an action or an AP gauge bar, and once it's full, then their active skill will be procced. If that's the case, I actually like kind of the visual aid here. And what I'm imagining this is maybe, okay, so this is cool. So look at this. Maybe what they did is they conquered a player city. If this is a player city and not just an objective, right? Because this could also just be like an objective stronghold, a neutral site that they have to go for. But if this is a player city, and you'll see that they conquered it, and then all the walls are being destroyed around it, right? And then what does that mean? Like, is it just, okay, all your walls are down, and then as the player, maybe you then get a city shield, and you have to rebuild from a weaker position, right? That could be something as well. But anyways, that's that one. Let's go, and I want to look at, if we can, this is the dev. So I haven't watched this one yet. This is 4 minutes and 42 seconds. We'll play this in a second. I just want to see if there's any questions yet that I can go through. But I want to watch this because this is going to give us a little bit more insight into Age of Empires Mobile and maybe just hear a little bit of their philosophy behind it. Paulo, Age 2 was the best game ever. Dude, Age 2 is crazy. I didn't even realize that there was a high, heavy esports scene for Age of Empires 2. And until I started watching some highlight clips yesterday. And they were also showing off and talking about some of the Age of Empires esports scene during the live stream yesterday on the official Age of Empires YouTube. So that was really cool to see because I didn't know that it was that competitive at that point. I've seen some live streams from tournaments, but I think the scope of how big the esports scene was very illuminating for me. Brugi Milan, what's up? You said, hey, question. You said, I'm currently part of a jumping group in Rise of Kingdoms. Were we expecting our kingdom to open up tomorrow, but suddenly the first thing in the monument dropped. From 20 to 60K. Does the new kingdom still open after that event is finished? So if you're asking if a new kingdom can open up after that event has finished in Rock, from when I was playing it, it could. I've also seen kingdoms that have opened up, I believe, before. I think that event was about 2 days, from what I recall. So I guess unless they've changed it, of course. But during my time in jumps, I've seen kingdoms open up before and after the first monument chapter has finished. Now, again, like I said, if that's changed recently, or maybe a little bit more beyond than recently, then possibly. But from what I understand, it could have. However, I'm not jumping currently, so I'm not really sure on the consistency of that, just because I'm not necessarily in the scene. But I would definitely ask someone who does jump often. Okay, here we go.
大家好，我是 Age of Empires Mobile 的制作人 Robin， 非常高兴我们的游戏在今天与大家首次见面。现在，我们的研发团队将为大家带来这款手游的最新信息。
Age of Empires Mobile 为 Age of Empires 系列带来了全新的体验。这是一款真实大战场战争策略手游，包含丰富的 RTS 元素、快节奏的战斗、趣味的王国建设、多人社交玩法以及多个文明的历史英雄。玩家需要建立自己的帝国， 并加入联盟，与来自全世界的盟友一起驱逐入侵者，并且扩大联盟领土，最后向王城发起进攻。
Yeah, so I'll probably be playing and pausing it here, but I just want to point out I like the fact that they said, hey, the final building is the Imperial City, which again is very similar to a Lost Temple and Rise of Kingdoms. If you've played Infinity Kingdom, right, the final building after you do your Contention of Relics event. And then obviously what may end up happening in Call of Dragons, where we potentially see the Flame Dragon as being the final kingdom. So this is, again, kind of so far still on a traditional kind of kingdom builder track.
这款游戏由 World's End 与天美联合开发，我们与 World's End 拥有相同的愿景，希望通过 Age of Empires Mobile 这款游戏，让更多的用户体验到策略游戏的乐趣。天美的团队成员基本都是 Age of Empires 的多年粉丝，对 Age of Empires 的热爱也是许多团队成员投身策略游戏研发的原因之一。我自己在高中的时候，常常玩 Age of Empires 2到废寝忘食，一张地图能重复的玩6、7遍也不觉得腻。
我们团队从16年开始专注研发策略手游，希望利用天美在大地图设计、多人在线、社交功能方面的经验，融入对 Age of Empires 诚挚的热爱，与 World's Age 一起，将最顶级的策略游戏体验带到手机上，让 Age of Empires 的玩家能够随时随地与更多朋友一起体验全新的 Age of Empires。
Age of Empires Mobile is a fresh take on the Age of Empires series. We've preserved the classic Age of Empires elements as much as possible, while introducing new gameplay and controls optimized for mobile devices. We hope to deliver that classic Age of Empires feeling in a brand new experience.
What sets our game apart is its large-scale epic stage battles, where hundreds of players clash on one screen. It's a dynamic and immersive combat experiences that blends large-scale alliance strategies with individual maneuvers.
Age of Empires Mobile also caters to players.
Okay, so let me. Again, I don't want to call BS there, but let's call it what it is and be honest here, right? Them talking about saying a unique feature of their game compared to others is that you are offering large-scale combat with your alliances and unique option scenarios features isn't necessarily anything new. Now, again, that's just based on what we've seen so far. If they show more than that, or if more is shown later down the line, okay, that's different. But at the moment, most kingdom builders, some other people will view them as 4X games. I think SLS, if that's one, kind of MMORTS you might. But again, I just call them kingdom builders, right? I think it's a very simple term to understand what the genre is and the types of games that are being produced within this genre. So this type of large-scale fighting isn't anything new. It's actually very common within the genre. So just wanted to point that out. But like I said, if they show more that's more unique later on, right, then we'll obviously comment on that.
Who enjoy single-player adventures. You can build and expand your empire independently. You can build.
Okay, I wanted to talk about this for a sec, because they're saying that this is actually in-game footage. And so, again, this is a very similar screen to what you see. Now, there is a timer here, so this is probably an event. But again, if you're looking here at Governor, this is most likely a world chat that you're viewing right now. You could probably rotate this, which is actually pretty cool. This is pretty standard, right? But you should be able to rotate this between a world chat and alliance chat, and then potentially DMs, right? Would be nice. That it could be what this is indicating over here, unless maybe this is an event chat, and then maybe it goes over to a world chat, alliance chat. This obviously would be the icon where you could zoom out and look at the entire map. That's pretty understandable. I like this toggle here. If this is a zoom toggle, I'm actually kind of cool with that if you're able to move it. Now, obviously, that's different, or if they have that in addition or in conjunction with moving the mouse wheel, then that's something as well. You can see here that this is where your missions, again, this is very similar to traditional kingdom builders, having your power in your top left. Potentially, this icon is listing out buffs that you would have if that's the case. You have a location, which maybe, this actually would be pretty cool if this is a location icon where you click it and it maybe takes you back to where your home base is, or if these are maybe city tags, maybe this also could be a specific event thing. This is interesting how they tell you, like, if it's sun. I actually like this. If this is at the UTC time in-game, but then it shows you, oh, hey, it's daytime, so maybe this indicates they're going to have a day and a nighttime mode in the game. Actually, that would be pretty dope. Not mad at that. This looks like a satchel or something for this particular event. Okay, let's continue.
Enjoy single-player adventures. You can build and expand your empire independently. Delve into diverse single-player adventures. You can build and expand.
Okay, hang on. Let's not make sure we miss that.
Can build.
Here we go. Tap to assign more villagers to speed up building. Oh, never mind. Okay. Oh, okay. But this is interesting. So this actually almost feels like kind of a take on, Whiteout Survival, right? Where because you can assign people to specific buildings within your camp in that game, but this one is actually being done for building process. So that's actually pretty cool. I actually somewhat like that. Then you can see the limit here is 0 of 12, so maybe it shows you as this goes up, maybe that number will go. It does. Cool. Look at that.
Into diverse.
Hang on, I want to see. So build the second camp. So that's probably, and this shows you what your resources are at the top. Okay. Maybe this is a raid event or something that they have. Okay.
Delve into diverse single-player dungeons and freely explore the vast world.
See, this is, I paused it here because I thought maybe this is like an artifact, or is this some kind of like a timed equip thing that you can skill out? But if this is auto and 1, this is most likely some kind of a raid, or maybe some kind of a dungeon environment, right? Where you're kind of auto battling at this point, right? This is very similar to what you'd see like an expedition in Rock, or God, I'm even forgetting right, the Dragon Trail that you have in Call of Dragons, right, where you're kind of going through and doing those tiered PvE levels. So that could be something.
And freely explore the vast world map to gather resources.
Okay, let's pause here. I want to look at this interface. So very similar, right? But we're getting a little bit more information. So they have VIP levels. That's all very traditional. You could see the power, which looks like here. That's traditional. I don't know what this land thing is. Maybe this is how many, if this is like an RSS tile, which again, it actually looks like they have RSS tiles out here. I just don't know if that's going to be traditional. They have mobs, so you could see that, which is very similar to Darklings or to Barbarians if you played Rise of Kingdoms or Call of Dragons. So again, that's pretty standard. This maybe is like the buff window or the buff screen where you see this one says 7 days. Maybe if you click on this, it'll list it out top down, or maybe it lists it out left to right. Probably what we have is a taskbar over here, mail, hammer, which indicates buildings. This is probably, for this one, probably has you zoom out a bit, or maybe this takes you to like the global kingdom or server list. Search, this is most likely for searching for tiles, for mobs. Star could maybe be if you favorited anything. And let's go right. So these could be event tabs. Right, this is something that you'll also see in other kingdom builders where at the top here, sometimes they'll do it like this instead of just having. Now, I want to point out, I'm very much of a mindset where I don't like to see a lot of stuff on the screen, right? So this already feels like a bit too much for me. Usually what I like to see games do with events is I like to see them just have an events tab. Like this is the thing I like that Call of Dragons does, at least to a degree, where you can, and Rock does this too, but they could do it better. Where instead of showing things across here, just show it. Now, yeah, if it's a limited event or something like that, maybe you can make the argument, but I still like everything being condensed into one area. So just have one icon up here, and then that will just show you all of the active ongoing events. It'll show you new seasonal events. It'll show you if there's any specials or limited time bundles that you can buy, and just condense it all into one area. I'm very much less is more on the screen. I just think that's a better way to do it. I do like this plus sign here, where instead of maybe having to click, instead of maybe having to click on a tile or something to send a unit out, maybe you click on this and the unit will just auto station outside of your city. If maybe that's something, but this is pretty cool. I like how that's just kind of a quick interface usage. And then you have your milestones here, which again maybe is just kind of like task rewards that you can get and complete. We have a satchel, which is probably where all your in-game resources go. This seems like this could be maybe an alliance flag. Maybe this is heroes. And then maybe this is ongoing rallies that is happening. Possibly. Okay. Let's see. I really want to see if I see any ranged PvP. That's really the thing that's gonna get your boy off.
Work on PvE encounters or engage in intense one-on-one PvP battles.
When designing civilizations, we conducted extensive research with Microsoft's team, including field trips and specialized discussions, to stay as true to history as possible. For example, the Roman civilization featured stone structure, The Byzantine civilization is rich in mosaic decorations, and the Chinese civilization, with its abundant wood resources, excels in wooden architecture. All these factors influenced our choice of materials and art style when designing the architecture of different civilizations.
In addition to experiencing familiar civilizations in Age of Empires Mobile, you will also relive classic Age of Empires elements, including rich citadel resources, iconic siege weapons, and classic music and sound effects. Also, our games...
Okay, so that was pretty cool. Where if they have... did I just miss it? Okay, so they have like the trebuchet out here where you can do some range. So it looks like maybe they will have some level of range combat. Like I said, my worry here is when I see something like this, the first thing that comes to mind for me is that and I'm just saying, if this is a player city, like you can see here's the alliance name, but the thing I worry about is like, okay, is this going to be some kind of tower defense, Clash of Clans type thing? And if that's the case, as a kingdom builder, that's just a no bueno. You like, respectfully, that's not the way to do it. And that's more of a turn off than it is a turn on. And that's just because of the fact that, again, sure, is it a unique approach to it where you're kind of allowing for a lot of the kingdom builder elements, but you're then adding in this kind of tower defense like thing if you break the wall down for a player's city and then you have like this kind of mini game. Sure, okay, is that a different thing to do? It is. The reason why I don't like that for these styles of games is because the whole point of a kingdom builder, for those of you that have played many of them, is that, or for any of you that have played any games where you have kind of this free troop movement mechanic that's in the game, it's very hands-on, right? And that's what it is when you're fighting out in the open field, if you're doing rallies, if you have a free troop movement and you're able to kind of maneuver around the map. Like let's say if you're using Cav and you're trying to like do resource tile hopping where you'll kind of go into a tile, exit real quick, go into a tile, exit real quick. Maybe you're trying to flank. Like a lot of this all really speaks to kind of more micro play, right? And that's something that, again, I hope... And again, this is just me, it's my opinion, but if they were to do something, and I mentioned this before, where you break the wall down for a city, and then you as the player can summon troops within your city to fight it out, that could be cool. Because I think that would stay in line with still having that real-time troop movement. But again, like we don't know if it is going to be a tower defense type thing internally, or if this is an actual city, or if this is just a neutral stronghold site. So we'll see.
Iconic siege weapons and classic music and sound effects. Also, our games preserve the essence of Age of Empires. Aspects such as base building, freedom of movement during combat for strategic unit placement, and a wide variety of strategies.
Speaking of strategy, Age of Empires Mobile focuses more on pre-battle strategy compared to Age of Empires. Many well-known historical heroes will be fighting alongside you, carrying a diverse set of unique skills and tons of room for customization. You can then technically combine these heroes into battle teams, opening even more room for creative strategies.
So I've heard many players are curious about what kind of game Age of Empires Mobile is. It's a war strategy game with rich RTS gameplay specifically optimized for the mobile platform. We've simplified the input scheme to make it more intuitive for the new player.
Age of Empires Mobile is currently under active development. We're planning regional tests to continuously optimize the game, and we can't wait to introduce it to players worldwide.
Age of Empires Mobile is available for pre-registration on the App Store and Google Play right now. Also, check out our official website for pre-registration events and more information. Join our official communities for the latest updates on Age of Empires Mobile. We're looking forward to seeing you in the game.
Hey guys, Spirit of the Lie here. In this video...
Okay. We're back. Alright, it's interesting stuff. What'd you guys think? Oh, then I have to read some chat too as well. All right. Yeah, let's see. And then we're going to go back to Call of Dragons. Just Killing, what's up? I have a feeling you haven't played Clash of Clans in a while and are misremembering it. Man, the way I've always remembered Clash of Clans is that you have an attacker that gets to set their attacking point first. Defense, or if you're building out your base, you build it in a strategic way. And again, if they have different modes now, if it's a competitive and a casual mode, but basically you would build your base out and set your defenses appropriately and customize your base's structure, and then people could basically attack and do raids on your base, and then they would place troops, whether they do it all at once or incrementally, and with the objective of advancing along your base to attack and destroy either as much as possible, or if they have to hit their certain points or destroy specific buildings in order to kind of get the wins. But that on the defensive end, you're not really able to use all of your units, right? It's more of like, for example, if you're on defense, you're not sending out all your units like you would on offense. Right, you might have defensive structures, or if it's like a Tesla tower or an archer tower or a crossbow placement, like something like that. Now, if it's changed to a point where you're now able to place all of right, where defense is able, what I'm talking about is that the defensive side is able to have an active and real-time approach to it. Oh, sorry, let me read. Okay. Oh, you said, yeah, that's about right. You don't participate in defense actively. Yeah. And again, maybe, and that's how I've always understood. And that's really more of where I'm getting at, right? Is that based on what we saw here, like I said, we don't know enough yet. That's my point. But as I was saying, my hope is that it doesn't get to that. Like, my hope is that they don't look at that style of approach. And it's not to say that that's a bad style of approach. It works well for what Clash of Clans is and for how the game was built. But if you're going to try and implement something like that into a kingdom builder, where the emphasis on that is where both players, attacking and defending, are able to have more real-time active control, that is just something that I hope that's not being looked at. Potentially, right, for what they would do if they are breaking into a city, right, from some of that gameplay that we saw. 3 heroes in the user interface instead of 2 makes it seem like a lot more Raid Shadow Legends or something. Yeah, no. That was interesting to me that they ended up showing that. Yeah, you have to acquire, and I don't know how I feel about that. If you have to, because I'll say this. If you have to have more heroes in a Legion or in a March, that is definitely not free-to-play friendly. Because what it means is that now your overall Legion and troop power is geared towards needing to level up and have more max legendary heroes. Eventually, we're talking kind of endgame point, right? When it gets to that, where now you have to invest in more heroes per each march. And if you have 4 to 5 marches, that's anywhere from 12 to 15 heroes that you need to have leveled, maxed out, with any other type of gear that they need to have attached. And then obviously with most games like this, you're going to have some heroes that are free to play, some that you're going to need to that are going to be paywall gated, right, for IAPs with your in-app purchases. So yeah, I think that's actually a really good point that hopefully, yeah, I hope, again, I'll say this, I'm very much just in favor. Like, I get why you have 2 heroes, 2 commanders, right, per march. Could they get away with just having 1 hero per march? Yeah, they could. I mean, any kingdom builder could relatively do that. And that game, I would say, would probably be a lot more free-to-play friendly than if you have to attach 2 to each, because then you only have to level up 5 heroes at that point, right, compared to having to do 2 or more, right? So that's something as well. And obviously now you need to have 3. Right, so now you need to have 3 heroes if that's the case. Ugh, yeah, that to me is a bit rough. Yeah, you said the way they showed the city battle kind of looked weird. Yeah, so zoomed in. No, agreed. I think, I think with it being a first look, I don't think they're really showing us off as much in-game footage for how it's going to look. I think you could tell that some of it was dappered up a bit, right? Where it almost seemed as though some of the footage, like when they were attacking the city, it almost kind of felt like it was like an ad, right? And maybe you might see some of that kind of in an ad footage. I think what we saw in one of the clips before where it looked like the unit was in that limited event or that event that was going on, I think that's probably a little bit more accurate for what you would probably see. But yeah, obviously we haven't seen enough gameplay footage yet to really determine. But And I think the other thing too as well is, are they going to add on? I could take this off now. Are they going to add on, or are they going to have ranged play? Right, like that's something that's really interesting to me, because I think Call of Dragons has really set the standard in that regard for how they're playing that out, or what they implemented in their game compared to what we see in others, right? If they're not going to have some kind of true range play, I think that could also be a bit of an I don't know. Like, one of the things I often talk about is that if they're not going to have, if Kingdom Builders that are coming out now are not going to have true range play, your game just needs to excel in so many other areas in order to balance out the fact that you don't have true ranged play in your game, right? And like I said, Call of Dragons is just pioneering that right now. So, if I'm another Kingdom Builder game and I'm looking at how to build, or if I'm a development company and I'm coming in and I'm looking at, hey, I'm interested in getting into this genre and I want to build a game out that's going to be within this field. I would look at a game like Call of Dragons, and I hope that they do. I hope they look at a lot of their games and they go through YouTube footage and look at battles, because the fact is that, people, want to have true range play. And I think, like I said, Call of Dragons is really setting that standard right now within the space, as far as doing it as competitively and as quality as they are. I'm just not a big fan of kind of the mosh pit fights where you have to fight legions and marches where everyone, like all the units are touching, right? Which to me, that just indicates more, it's like, oh, it's infantry versus infantry, or it's cav versus cav. But if you have ranged units, now the one thing that does gives me a little hope already is that, the one thing that gives me some hope though, is that they did have the trebuchet, right? Which was a ranged support unit that would be there to break down the walls, right? And you saw that firing from range. So that does give me a little hope, because that's in there. Yeah, you said range gameplay might be too difficult for some studios to pull off. Oh, I would imagine. But I think the fact is that, and I hope that development studios will look at hopefully they do. Hopefully they do their homework. And they look at a lot of different Kingdom Builders. They look at kind of what the pros and cons are of each, and like what do they do well versus what do they not have, or even if they just look at unique things that they have. And the fact is that, man, Call of Dragons is just, it is, man. I mean, the range PvP play is absolutely fantastic. So, but yeah, I may keep up with this more. I'll be curious to see maybe how the next gameplay video looks. Anyways, back to Call of Dragons for a little bit. Where am I going here? Am I out? Oh, do I need to zoom out more? Okay. Yeah. Let's go back and see if we can... How far are we? Let's go see if we can find some more. Maybe there's some other action going on in other places. But that was fun. That was fun, man. Again, I'm always a fan of taking a look at other games. And, I've been such a big Age of Empires fan for a very long time. So, always very enjoyable when I can see... Especially, I think... It was crazy. I think there was like 6,000 people that were... watching the stream, at least when I stopped watching it after they released the Age of Empires mobile information. Yeah, let's see. What is going on? No. Don, any wow, geez, what are they doing? Fighting everywhere? Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think my little lady just woke up. So I am probably going to go ahead and hop off here. Just because, once again, I've been going for about an hour 20. And this has been great to kind of show some stuff off. So let me just finish this out as usual for what we do. If you guys are interested, I'm just going to put a Discord link in if you ever want to come on and or join, I should say, the server and get notified when we do go live. I'll post that over here in the chat. And as always, right, if you're looking to support beyond just the average and standard viewership, there's also a channel here after you join called Sub and Donate that has some information there. And then, of course, we always post our live stream updates here in the live stream channel, and there's a role for that. If you go to reaction roles, you can select that. It's COD Live Notify, right? So it's the camcorder here, and then that'll allow for you to tune in and check out when we do end up going live. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I was really happy to at least go and watch some PvP there in ST16. Have a chance to go and look and watch that new Dev Diaries video and have a chance to look at yesterday during the live stream and talking a little bit about Age of Empires Mobile. So yeah, again, as most of you know, right, I am a fan, lover, and enjoyer of Kingdom Builders. It's the genre that I really have a lot of fun talking about. And so hopefully that's something that at least some of you do as well, right outside of my standard COD content. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. So thanks so much for hanging out. And again, hopefully whenever I stream next, whether that's sometime this week, it'll hopefully be when a pass is opening or some other big fights. So stay tuned for that as well. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your weekend, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening.